How do you think that Matt Dumba feels right now, just like watching all of these contracts be handed out to legacy guys? And obviously different scenario because he was 1 year early for going to free agency. Like this year, there isn't money. Do you think that he's a guy that Guerin goes out of his way to keep if we get into next season? Like if Dumba had 1 more year on his deal right now, would Guerin be clumping him into this group?
I think it's so different with forwards and defensemen. I really do, because there's like you got 6 D-men and you got half the, you know what I mean? So there's less money, like there's less dollars to give out to your back end. Or then if you want to play devil's advocate, it's like, well, ultimately what's winning you fucking playoff game? You know what I mean? So, and I think with Dumba, like it just like I think we all know that they would have loved to have kept him around. Like no one in that organization was excited to like not re-sign him. But I do think it is different with forwards and defensemen, just because like there's so much more focus. Like when Matt Dumba fucks up versus when Marcus Foligno fucks up, like what's going to end up happening? Like maybe like Foligno misses an open net. Meanwhile, if Dumba like misses a back, or like just like doesn't see someone behind him, like that's a tap in goal, like that could be the game. It is just different, I think.
I agree that it's different, but I also think that there's like way more hate directed, even like if we remove that element, right? Like if Foligno was a defenseman and Dumba was a defenseman, people just learned to love to hate Dumba, which is like super unfortunate.
So brutal, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like his style of play, like there's gonna be boneheaded mistakes, but dude, like look at some of the best defensemen in the league. Like I'll always obviously go to what I know, but like Chris Letang, he can have some of the best games in the world. He's gonna have dumpster fire games because that's the game he plays. Like you're gonna get burned sometimes if you're taking those kind of risks and playing that style of game. But like there's just not a world where Dumba was ever not going to be the punching bag, but now he's gone. They're looking for a new punching bag, and they're looking directly at these contracts to source all of that anger. So, like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. Do they now make Foligno, like, if he has a bad game or isn't fighting or isn't being tough enough, like, are people going to lose their shit? Probably.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think everyone's going to lose their shit. I mean, we saw what happened with, like, was it last year? I mean, like when Kaprizov started slow, the 1 year, people were like, whoa, $9 million for that. So like, there you go.